What's going on in Ignited Faith family? It's currently 6:40 in the morning. We're here. I find myself in 1 Samuel 2. 1 Samuel 2, read the whole second chapter. Samuel was the word that God used me to call me out of my sin. When I was coming out of my age of sin, I suppose. That's the verse that I first read that really impacted my soul. But I want to focus on the prayer of Hannah, because not only is she praying, but she's dedicating her son to God. So, and this is a fulfillment of a vow, of a promise that she asked God to complete in her, so that she could have a son, so that she could, experience motherhood and find that joy. And God has a way of taking natural inability and using a supernatural, ability, I guess, as corny as that sounds. And God's going throughout the land, looking for people that, He can use. Her things align with what God needed to do, so to speak. So she wanted a son, God needed a man, and they found common ground. And God said, okay, I'll give you a son. And Hannah said, if you give me a son, I will dedicate him to you. This is a woman who's giving up her son. I love my children. A mother's connection to her son is something that is so powerful and so supernatural. And they cultivate that life in them. They cultivate that prayer, that power, that ability. They build it inside of them, quite literally build it inside themselves with the help of the Lord and the Holy Spirit, a replication of not only the image of God, but also the image of His parents. Most of the time, the world will see it as a sad thing. Like, oh my gosh, you're giving up your son to go work in the church. That's so terrible. Like, he was working for the church. It wasn't just a Sunday thing for him. It's an everyday thing where we see a mother giving up her son. We also see a servant being faithful to her vow and being faithful to her promise to God. And she's keeping it. And not only is she keeping it, but she is keeping it with joy, because she understands that God is going to use Samuel for something great. And He does. Samuel was the prophet that establishes King David. It signifies, that Jesus is on the way. And kind of like the pin to the spiritual grenade. Like, she dedicated Samuel. God pulled the pin on Samuel, and then here we go. Game on. This is for me. This is the jump off point for the redemption of the world. This is how we get here. God isn't just working through Hannah and her promises and her vows. If you're $1 million, yes. Could you get $1 million? Yes. But what is that $1 million doing for you, and what is that $1 million doing for the kingdom of God? He wants to make sure that we're doing what we're doing because He already did what He did. God already paid a price this high, right? So for us to ask for more from Him, we have to be willing to give up something. Like Hannah in this prayer, I want to encourage you guys to approach God with joy in your hearts, regardless of what it means that you have to give up. Like that, come to God with a faith like Hannah, and with a willingness of giving as she gave. Like she gave her son. God, ultimately, the church only asks for 1 day a week on Sundays to go to church. What's your excuse? Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't want to get up. Oh, I'm lazy. If Hannah's able to give up her son for me, or give up her son to God, ultimately was for me, but why aren't we, so much more willing to give up something for God? And look what He did with her. Her house was blessed. Her son was blessed. Her son lived long. Her son got to raise up kings. I just want to encourage you guys, get in your word. I love the fact that, I get to see a mother give up her son to God with joy in her heart and with rejoicing in her spirit. She recalls that promise that He told her He was going to use her for, and use her son for ultimately. I want to encourage you guys that seek that with thanksgiving, with joy in your hearts, for Him to work in each and every one of us. So that's what I got for you guys today. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. God bless. Love y'all. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell to stay up to date with future posts, and yeah, have a great day, guys.